The Grand Assembly Hall of the Galactic Council fell silent as Ambassador Victoria Kane rose from her seat. The human diplomat had maintained perfect composure throughout 3 hours of increasingly condescending remarks from various alien representatives, but something in her bearing had shifted. The temperature in the vast chamber seemed to drop several degrees. High Counselor Vextheri of the Dominion leaned forward on his 6 legs, his mandibles clicking with barely concealed amusement. As I was saying, the insectoid alien continued. Humans are clearly unsuited for military leadership in our upcoming campaign against the Void Syndicate. Your species' notorious fear of warfare is well documented. Perhaps you would be better suited to supply logistics? Murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembled representatives. The Korthani delegation's crystalline forms chimed in harmony, while the massive Brutarchs drummed their approval on the chamber floor. It was a familiar scene, the young human species being dismissed by civilizations millennia older. Ambassador Kane stood motionless for a long moment, her gray eyes sweeping across the assembly. When she finally spoke, her voice was barely above a whisper, yet it carried to every corner of the vast hall. "Fear war," she repeated, the words hanging in the air like a blade. The chamber fell completely silent. Even the ambient hum of the station's life support seemed to pause. Kane's composure cracked, and what emerged was something primal and terrifying. Her voice rose, carrying with it the weight of humanity's blood-soaked history. "You think we fear war?" She slammed her palm against the podium, the sound echoing like a gunshot. "We are the children of a world where everything wanted us dead from the moment we could walk upright. We fought saber-toothed cats with pointed sticks. We looked at creatures 10 times our size and said, 'I'm going to eat that.'" The alien delegates shifted uncomfortably. This was not the measured diplomatic response they had expected. "You want to know about human warfare?" Kane's voice became a roar. "We turned killing into an art form. We wrote poetry about death and sang songs about glorious battle. We have a saying, war never changes, because for us, war isn't an aberration, it's Tuesday." High Counselor Vextheri's compound eyes widened as Kane continued her tirade. "We fought each other for millennia over patches of dirt, ideology, resources, religion, and sometimes just because we were bored. We created weapons that could crack planets, and then made more of them because the first batch wasn't horrifying enough. We looked at the splitting of the atom, the fundamental force that powers stars, and our first thought wasn't unlimited clean energy, it was, how do we make this kill more efficiently?" The human ambassador's eyes blazed with fury as she gestured to the assembled council. "Your species achieved spaceflight through careful scientific advancement over thousands of years. You know how humans got to space? We strapped ourselves to controlled explosions and said, 'Let's see what happens.' Half our early space program was powered by rockets designed to deliver warheads to our enemies." Several delegates were backing away from their podiums now, finally understanding they had awakened something dangerous. "You think we fear war? War fears US. We're the species that looked at our planet's apex predators and said those would make good pets. We took wolves, and turned them into chihuahuas for entertainment. We're the galaxy's only species that actively seeks out dangerous alien megafauna to hunt for sport." Kane's voice dropped to a deadly whisper again. "We don't fear war, Counselor. We've simply learned to control our appetite for it. But if you want to see what humans do when we stop holding back, by all means, keep underestimating us." The ambassador gathered her documents with perfectly steady hands, her diplomatic composure returning as quickly as it had vanished. "The human fleet will take point in the assault on the Void Syndicate. We'll show you how it's done." As she walked toward the exit, her final words drifted back to the stunned assembly. "Logistics," he says. "The audacity." High Counselor Vextheri stared at the empty doorway long after the human had gone. For the first time in his 300-year career, he wondered if the Council had made a terrible mistake. In the depths of space, human warships began changing course toward the front lines, their crews eager to remind the galaxy why their species had earned its reputation as the most dangerous hunters in known space.